Well, we got some breaking news out of the NBA. CJ McCollum has agreed to a 2-year, $64 million extension with the Pelicans. That is according to ESPN. McCollum's new deal will keep him in New Orleans through the 25-26 season. He's averaged over 24 points per game with the Pelicans since arriving at the trade deadline last season from Portland. And for more, we welcome in CBS Sports NBA analyst Tim Doyle. Tim, first of all, reaction to the news, McCollum signing an extension with the Pelicans.
I'm excited for Pelicans basketball. Who has ever said that before in the history of the NBA? Because CJ McCollum is a veteran. Obviously, he's a trusted source. He's the head of the Players Association. You're going to say, Tim, why does that matter? Because New Orleans has some talent, but the talent is young guys, and you need this veteran presence to look up to. You remember he went to Lehigh. Nothing was handed to CJ McCollum. He was most improved player in the NBA. He has a chip on his shoulder that no one ever believed in him. And I think a guy like Zion Williamson, a guy like Brandon Ingram could look to a veteran like this for leadership. And I think he makes this entire team complete. I think this is going to be one of the greatest Pelicans teams in the history of their franchise. Now, Russ, that ain't saying much. I've been around that long, okay? But they've been to the Western Conference semifinals twice, and I think they're a real threat to make some noise once again in the Western Conference. When you look at their starting lineup, if healthy, enormous if, because Zion Williamson means so much to this team.
Well, that's the thing. You said they needed a veteran. They could also use some health with these young guys. All right, let's assume Zion's back and healthy. What's your outlook for the Pelicans this coming season?
They've only done it twice. They've only won 50 wins twice in their complete franchise history. Once again, not that long, okay? Like, I was born before the franchise was 1982, by the way, and I turned 40 next week, all right? I'm a man. I'm 40, okay? But the Pelicans, they're for real, and they're not even 40 yet because there's balance here. I think Brandon Ingram is an amazing scorer, but I think he's even better when he's the two guy, okay, next to CJ McCollum. But now when you add Zion in here, I think Zion Williamson can be the MVP of the NBA within the next 3 years. Can he play 70-plus games? You know, I called the game 2 years ago when the Jazz had the best record in the Western Conference, and Zion dominated the game. He was by far the best player on the court. And in the third quarter, Russ, he scored like 20 points. Now, he was cooked in the fourth quarter. They ended up winning that game and beating the Jazz. But I just thought to myself during that game, if Zion can take that third quarter, the energy, the enthusiasm, the attacking mode, if he can make that third quarter, the first, second, third, and fourth, see, I always think that Zion's a little too heavy. And I think he needs to kind of whip himself into better shape and put down the old knife and fork. Just like Barkley did. Just like when Moses Malone grabbed Barkley and he was like, you're too fat. So I think the guy's got that great of potential that he could be the best player in the entire NBA within the next 4 years. So I don't know if you hear it in my voice. I'm a man. I'm about to be 40, and I am pumped for the Pelicans.
Tim Doyle is to Zion Williamson as Moses Malone was to Charles Barkley. That's what I'm leaving with here. CJ McCollum, though, gets the new extensions. Tim Doyle, thank you so much. Much appreciated. On some breaking news, CJ McCollum signing a 2-year extension worth $64 million with the New Orleans Pelicans. Here are your current odds to win the Western Conference. Your defending champions currently lead those odds. The Pelicans have the 9th best odds at plus 1,500.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.